Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Problems and suffering is part of life. We're all gonna have to go through problems in our lives, and suffering, whether it's from divorce, illness, loss of a loved one, getting fired from a job, whatever that is, it's part of life. But there are people who fall down and it's hard for them to rise up again, and there are people who rise up again after a problem or a suffering, and they become better than before. And this is called resilience. Resilience is the ability to rise up back again after a problem. So in this video, I'll talk about what is resilience and how we can be more resilient when we face problems and suffering in our lives. And I'll give you my own experience in resilience, and I will share that with you, how I faced suffering just a few years back and how I was able to rise up again. So just a few years back, I went through a divorce. It was one of the most difficult times of my life. There was a lot of pain. The person that I thought I was going to live with for the rest of my life was no longer there. It's over. It was over. I had a year-old daughter, and my daughter was not with me at that time. So it was a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of crying. I cried a lot at the beginning, but then I realized that I can rise up again. I wouldn't be destroyed. I wouldn't let this situation break me. Rather, I can use it to my advantage to rise up and become better than before. And this is what I did. So this is what I'm going to share with you in this video, is what tools I use, what I did to be resilient in the face of challenges, and especially when I went through a divorce and one of the most difficult times of my life at that time. So first, a resilient person, or a person who rises from issues and problems and suffering, they have strong beliefs. Their beliefs are strong. They have certain ideas about problems, and this comes before the problem happens. You don't want to wait until the problem happens to have strong beliefs. You need to be prepared for the storm, because a prepared person knows how to handle the situation. So the first belief is that problems are part of life, that we all gonna have to face problems. No one's gonna escape from problems and suffering. We're gonna go through divorce, loss of a loved one, illnesses, any problem you can think of, or anything that you don't like. I see problems are anything that you're not happy with, that disagrees with your expectations, because everyone has certain expectations about life. But when you have strong beliefs, for example, that problems are there to teach you something, teach you a lesson. You need to learn something. You need to learn something about yourself, about life, in order not to repeat the same mistake again. Like life is a school, and you will learn until the last breath. And this is how you gain wisdom. The more you learn, the more you make mistakes, the more you have wisdom. Wisdom only comes from suffering. Another belief is that after difficulty, there is ease. Difficulties don't last for long. Suffering doesn't last for long. It may take a few months, it may take a year or two, but eventually it will disappear. The sun will always rise after the storm. And this is the same thing with suffering and problems. So patience is very important. A resilient person is patient, because you need patience in order to act correctly. Because when you're in a problem, you have to do certain things to solve that problem. You can't just sit and cry. That will not do anything. But if you're patient and do certain actions to solve the problem, eventually you'll be happier. So patience is very important for a resilient person, for problems, for any issues that you face. Because if you're impatient, you will do bad things. You will not act in a correct manner, in a wise manner, to solve your problem or to let the problem go away, because eventually the problem will disappear. A resilient person is optimistic. And another belief is that things will turn out the best for you, that there is a plan, higher plan, universal plan, call it God or the universe, is making a plan for you for the best, either for you or someone who is involved in the situation. So there is a better plan for you, whether it's you lose a job. Many people who lose jobs or a relationship disappear or ends, they find better relationships in the future because they learned something, or that person was not the right person for them, or that job was not the good job for them. They changed their career when they were fired from a job. They did something else that was best for them. So you learn that this problem is for your benefit. There is a change that needs to be done. You have to change yourself. So you have to move away, or you have to change either your environment. You have to leave the country, leave your city, do something else, leave a job, change your career. There is a change that's being planned for you. So these are the reason for problems. So this part of perspective, is this something for your benefit or not? So you believe it's for your benefit. It's good to believe that. It's gonna change everything. It's gonna make you more happier if you believe that your problems are for your benefit. Another thing that helped me was social support. I was lucky when I went through a divorce that my parents were in the same city that I was living in. So there was someone to talk to, someone to cry to complain to speak to. So it helped me a lot that my parents were in the same city I was in. So it's good to have social support. Someone to your friend, your parents, your brother, your sister, someone to talk to when you have a problem. So it's good to have social support. Another thing is self-care, exercise. I didn't stop exercising. I kept exercising. That helped me a lot going through this issue. Exercise is very important. I've been exercising every day for at least 10 minutes for the last few years. So exercise is very important. It relieves stress. It increases good feel hormones in your brain to makes you more happier. Another thing that I started doing is meditation. Meditation is very important, extremely important. I can't stress how important it is, because when you're meditating, you're focusing on the present moment. Even after you meditate for like 10 or 20 minutes, you have a different perspective because you're not dwelling on the past. You're not thinking about the problem that happened in the past. Most of your time you're thinking the present moment, and that makes you forget your problem that you're going through. So in forgetting, you feel better, you feel happier. Because looking at the past won't solve anything. The past is gone. The past is done. What can you do? And you don't have control over the past. But what you do have control over is the present moment. Because when you have control over your present moment, you can control your future and you can affect your future. Another thing resilient people go through, which I also did, was gratitude. Have gratitude. Even though you have a problem, even though you have a suffering, you still have things to be thankful for. So have gratitude. And there are so many things you can be grateful for. Endless things. You can eat. You have a house. You have people around you who love you. There are so many things you can be grateful for, and don't just focus on the problem. Because if you focus on the problem, there is nothing else to be grateful for. So don't focus on the problem. Focus on what you're grateful for, on the good things in your life, for the gifts in your life. You have a car, you have a house, you have food, you have money, you have saving, whatever it is, you have health. So focus on gratitude, because when you have gratitude, you will increase good things in your life and you can stand up again. Also have hope. That prayer is very important. Pray to God. It gives you hope. There is a higher power that will lift you away from your problem, that will save you from this problem or this suffering, that will heal you, that will change your situation, whatever it is. There is a higher power. So praying is very important. It gives you hope that things will eventually get better. Eventually the suffering will disappear because God is in control. So it's good to have a good spiritual beliefs or religious beliefs. So these are the things that I used when I went through my problem, especially divorce, which was one of the most difficult times in my life. I was suffering a lot. I felt pain. I can't describe how painful it was, but I went through it. I got through it through resilience, through my beliefs, through things I did like exercising, like social support, meditation, certain beliefs about the problem, that things will get better eventually. And they did, and they always do. Problems always go away. Illness, usually they go away. Suffering usually goes away, but you have to be patient. Have certain beliefs, strong beliefs, because only through strong beliefs you can get through anything. Have a different perspective that this problem is for your own benefit. There's a better plan for you. When you have a divorce, you will find another person that's better than that person. When you leave your job, there's another job waiting for you that's better than that job, or any other problem that you may face. So change your perspective, do certain things to become a resilient person. So when problems happen, you can get through it. You can rise up and you're not broken and falling down. It's the opposite. You will rise and you become a much better person. So every problem that you face, you become a better person. You become higher intellectually, emotionally, consciously. So everything gets better when you have problems. Think that way. Hopefully we don't have a lot of problems in our lives, but problems are part of life. Suffering is part of life. We can't escape it, but we can control what we can do in our problems, what we can do in our suffering. So I hope you like this video, and see you next time.